Hey everybody, thank you for watching Aim for Survival. Today we're going to be reviewing the Esee 6P. Stay tuned everyone. Okay, here we have it guys, the Esee 6P CP in OD green. We're going to talk about some of the specs of the knife. First, to put it in the sheath at a combined weight of about a pound. The knife itself is 11.8 ounces. It's about 11 3/4 long. We do have a cutting surface of 5.75 on this edge, about 3.5 to 4 inches on the back edge, with an overall blade from scale to tip of 6.75. This is a very light, lengthy blade, guys. I do prefer a big knife. This fits to me right in the middle category. It's not a machete, it's not a whittler. It does come in a hard plastic, high impact sheath, guys. This is a very narrow sheath with multiple affixing possibilities. One that comes standard is your belt clip. Got a metal clip here, high impact plastic there, again reducing weight. Esee knives do have the best warranty in the world, so definitely a good option. The scales are Micarta. Beautiful, comfortable scales. We do have a finger grip up top. Nothing in the back to prevent you from sliding off, guys, so you might want to put that lanyard. It's held on with 3 hex screws. The TANG does follow the profile of the scales. It's very smooth, very well thought out scale system, as in hard using of this knife you will not get hot spots or blisters as quickly. Put it into the sheath. I want to tell you the correct way to unsheath this mask is to put your thumb here, pop it loose, pull it free. Don't want your hands anywhere near that backup blade. It's made of 1095, which is very useful. High carbon steel. You can take a rock and produce a spark onto char and use that to ignite hard tinder, stubborn tinder, or as just a backup fire making method. It being high carbon, it will corrode with moisture and oxygen. It definitely will rust. If you look here, they do have a friction coating on the top. This will help protect the center of the blade from pitting. However, you will still have to oil all exposed parts, including that beautiful logo on there. Guys, it locks in really well. Has a little bit of rattle. We'll give it to them, guys. It's definitely a bomber piece of gear, and like I said, has one of the best warranties. So enough on that. Let's go to the field test. Of course, the first thing everybody always wants to know, can it baton? We're going to take about 3.5 inch diameter piece of cedar here. We're going to get started. Went right through, no problem. Nice clean split. Guys, we've got a few projects coming up, so we'll definitely save some of this wood for later. Going straight down the middle of the wood. It's no problem. However, that wasn't much of a challenge, was it, guys? Certainly wasn't much of a test. So how about we take the bigger piece here. About the kit falling off the stump here. We just batoned through about 2 feet of wood. Makes for a beautiful piece. Technically, we just batoned a baton. Let's process this down just a little bit further. I'm surprised just how well this blade is done. It seems to glide straight through the material despite having this friction coating on there. I went ahead and took a layer off and got ourselves a 5-inch log. We're going to see if this Esee can baton through it. This being a true torture test of the blade. Looking at it, we still have no nicks or dings. Because of the grains on here, seems to be busting out. However, the Esee is doing pretty good. Thinking this through, this may be Bradford pear. That explains why it in itself is so brittle. However, it is taking chunks off like crazy. Throw that in the fire pit for another day. So maybe we're out in the field, we need to improvise a shelter. We can take the XC6, collect us some ribbing. Right about here, we'll go ahead and try a little bit of chopping. Definitely going to need to put a lanyard on the end of this. Trying it without the glove. Much better grip. Maybe you're out, the weather's starting to get rough, water's going to rise. We might need a spear or a depth checking stick. Either way, a walking stick never hurts. We do have a rather straight sapling here. Looking here, you see this is about as thick as my arm. Pretty good test. Leave it a little long, but we don't need it this long. Now we have a spear and a baton. Continuing, we can make our stick just a little more efficient in the field. Still have not found a great use for the back blade on this, guys. I think that's possibly more for dispatching game or possibly having to fight with a knife. I'll tell you a little bit about knife fighting. I know enough to know I don't want to be in one. In a pinch, this should definitely give us a little bit of distance from an animal, possibly a last ditch effort. However, more likely you're going to encounter a hunting situation. So let's go and get our baton and make this into a gig. What we have here is a multi-spoke gig in the event that I did not want to put twigs in between here. However, I do want to spread them out just a little bit further. Small green sapling will do just fine. Now in a pinch, we have a much more effective way of catching frogs, possibly pinning a snake's head to the ground. And although this is a big knife, your ability to control it is actually very, very well. Let's try using the back of this blade for just a minute. It's already being useful because the belly actually prevented me from getting inside the gig here. It gives me a very, very delicate curve. I don't know if you can see it here, but I can get in there and do detail work. Still not impressed by a blade on the back of the spine. But so far so good, guys. Let's keep going. Okay guys, so we do have the SE6 and it does have this friction coating on the outside. Filling the back, I do not feel a pronounced 90-degree spine that I like to fill. However, we're going to take a ferro rod and see if it will strike a ferro rod. Not the best, guys. Of course, we could always use the back blade on here, which is really a no-no if you don't have to. It'll do in a pinch. However, we're definitely gonna make a video on some of the mods we do to the knife. We do have a improvised lanyard on here already. Let's try using the jimping. Definitely better luck using the jimping on the spine of the knife versus the smooth edge here. We never really want to use the blade if we don't have to, but in a pinch you gotta do what you gotta do, guys. At least you're not having to use your primary blade, right? Let's keep going. Next, let's see if we can make some trap trigger mechanisms. This will test the big blade. I don't call this a big blade, but some people think 5 3/4 inch blades are a big knife. But we're gonna see if we can do some of the smaller task work. Do just a straight cut here. Let's try a small improvised L7. Putting a stop cut. We have an improvised L7 notch. Repeating the process, flipping it over. Definitely gonna have to resist choking up to the tip of the blade. However, now we have an improvised log cabin notch. Sure we can. Let's go ahead and put a pot hanger notch. This one definitely requires a lot more finesse with a blade. There you go, everybody. Maybe we were making a trap that I've been practicing now, a double-sided twitch up spring snare. This requires a flap on both sides. Could easily produce the 90-degree edges that we need for the trap trigger mechanism. Show you more on that trap another day. Go ahead and test the tip out just a little bit. That back edge is definitely something to keep in mind, but I do see its benefits again already. Try something just a little bit harder. The tip is still going very, very strong. We do have, again, a blade up here that we have to be mindful of, but it did not jeopardize the tip strength, not one bit. Let's see if it can make tender. It can do that as well. Maybe we're in a pinch and we find a dead piece of fallen wood. This area is wet and funky. However, there could be dry resources inside here. There could be bugs. Maybe we need a quick meal. Haha. Maybe we need bait. Do see termites Tip of this is digging through the heartwood rather well considering. Here we do have some of the resinous heartwood of the tree. This could definitely be useful in fire making if we were to scrape it down. Smelling it, you can smell the flammable oils inside. Next, let's go ahead and check out its feathering abilities. Always love feather testing after an abuse test. You learn about the quality of the steel. This is definitely gliding right through the material. I do have a knot right here if we can't make quick work of it, and we did. Let's go for a really fine curls now. Definitely want to say the SE6 can feather, especially considering the abuse we just put it through. Of course, the whole point of feather sticking in itself is so that you can make a fire. No fancy tricks on this one, guys. You should carry a lighter with you all the time. Give it a little bit of time to be self-sustaining. Okay everybody, the SE6 is definitely an all-in-one package. Again, $10.95, nearing a foot in entire length with a 5.75 inch cutting surface and a backup spine blade. I had my doubts whether I would like this design. However, it does have several advantages. Definitely a great lightweight option. One of the best parts about Esee knives is the warranty. Guys, no questions asked. Beholder warranty. They will take care of anybody who owns this knife. Appreciate you watching Aim for Survival. If you haven't already, smash the like button. Comment down below. Subscribe to the channel, and as always, when you aim for survival, don't miss.